Hello and welcome. My name is Nelly. I'm a psychologist and a mental health advocate. Welcome to this channel where we talk about psychological, mental health and lifestyle issues. And today's video has been inspired by gender-based violence, and this is something that has been happening and it has been very prevalent. And I don't know where things went wrong, but I think violence against women just needs to come to an end. It needs to come to a stop. Because one, violence against women is violation of human rights. And so I think the society needs to narrow down and look at this seriously. Because the number of women who are undergoing this quietly, getting hurt, and the number of women who are dying in this situation, the numbers are very high. There's a trend I have seen, and I think I should talk about it. And this is when young ladies, some of the things that I think contribute to people being quiet when they land in the hands of an abusive, narcissistic husband. When ladies are getting into relationships that are leading to marriage, and when they are when they're in their early years of marriage, most ladies tend to disconnect from the society. Because you see, the society now expects you to make this your primary social connection. And now we have such high expectations of these men who can fake their personalities at this stage. It's the romantic stage. Marriage has stages. So this is the romantic stage where people are like on a drug. They are on a high. You just want to see the good things about this man. I said violence can be against men too, but this video I'm focusing on women. And so this man, you may land in the hands of an abuser, but he could be able to, because you see, the romantic stage is the stage where most people get duped. And because now, even if you see a red flag, you are very excited. This is your confident. You put mythical powers on them because you are high. You are high on love. This person is your friend, is your confidant, your partner, your excellent entertainer, your everything. He is your everything. People say this person is my everything. Not wrong, not right. And so when they disconnect, they now have to focus. Because you see, especially in the African setting, this is a very important achievement. And people go into these situations expecting that the other person is going to make them happy. The other person is going to complete them and come and fill the gaps that they have in their lives. And that is the wrong way. And that is one of the things that have caused many people to face violence, persevere, because you don't want to get out of it. You don't want to be discussed by the society. You don't want to have fingers being pointed towards you. You don't want to break this. You want to maintain your social image because of the expectations of the society. You persevere and some die. The number of women who have died in the hands of abusive husbands is just alarming. So people, when they disconnect, now they want to focus on these relationships. Others tend to, because the mind is very excited, they now have lower performances even at work. They are not focused. They are excited. It's exciting. Of course, it's exciting. Being loved is an exciting thing. There's lower performance at work. People get fired. People close businesses because now they are getting married. There's a wedding coming. They no longer talk to friends. And the society today, if you disconnect with friends move on. And so now you're left in the hands of this abuser. You probably don't know he's an abuser yet, but the true colors will definitely show up. You cannot pretend forever. You cannot pretend for the rest of your life. So these ladies, now they get into, they're still working, they're still having their businesses. There are those who are able to do that until the time they get their children. There are some who get married and immediately get children. and unfortunately some may get postpartum depression. But of course, you see, an abuser, if it's a narcissistic husband, will never really want to focus on what exactly is going on with you, and so now this affects the woman even more. And so most people now here, they get to take a break from work for real, because they need to work on their mental health, and they still need to attend to the baby, and they still need to play their duty as the wife. And this is an issue most HRs I know deal with, because postpartum depression, I think the maternal leave is 3 months, and most people are not able to deal with that and overcome and recover within those 3 months. And so they take a break from work, from formal employment, from their businesses, and now they're just at home. And this is what leads now to the other reason which makes the abuser abuse you and you persevere. And this is financial dependence. Because now, you now start depending on this abuser for finances. And now most abusers feel like they have you by the hook, because they are supporting you financially. And so they can do anything to you, and you can, most women who persevere this abuse say that they are doing it for the sake of their children, because they don't want their children to suffer. They already are, they are not financially empowered. They already forgot themselves, they forgot their skills, they forgot their social connections to businesses, connection to work. They're just there. And so now they just have to persevere this abuse because of their children. They want the children to have a good life, to go through education, and so they persevere. They are beaten, they are battered, they are verbally abused, psychologically, sexually abused for the sake of the children. You need to keep yourself in check. You need to keep yourself empowered socially, financially, economically. You don't have to really attend these gatherings physically, social gatherings, or you may not be able to continue working, but do the little that you can. Continue reading, continue praying, continue empowering yourself spiritually and mentally, because you need that in the case that you land in the hands of an abuser. You need that. Because you see, when your mind is stable, when your mind is empowered, you can be able to collect yourself, for lack of a better word, to collect yourself and, go back and find work and get employed, start a business, and be able to, bring up these children away from the abuser. So 2 things. Try and keep these connections going. Even if you will not be able to meet them in physical, even if you will not be able to always attend those gatherings, there is technology. Connect with people socially. Facebook, Instagram, email, whatever suits you. Keep connecting, keep talking, open up to the few friends that you have remaining. Do not completely disconnect and assume that now you don't need other people. Because that's one of the reasons that make people persevere, because they feel like they're isolated, and even if they go, where are they going? They don't have friends, they don't have connections, and so they persevere. And women, if you know that someone is going through abuse and they come to you for empowerment, you need to show someone what to do if you can be able to show them. Let's not allow people to be abused to the point of death. If there's something you can do, if you can speak to someone about it, speak to it. Speak so that this lady can be rescued from this situation. If you can help them with business, if you can give them connections to work, let's help these people who are in these abusive relationships. Because we don't want to continue adding to the number of women who are dying in the hands of abusive, narcissistic husbands. It's not fair for the children. It's not fair to the society. Because you see, the society is formed by, a family is the smallest unit of a community. It's the smallest community. And so the society, the sickness you actually see in the society is because of the sickness that is happening at home. The abuse to the women, the abuse to the children, the incest, the rape, all these things. The family needs to be healed, so that you can have a healed next generation, so that you can have a healed community, a healed country. But if the society continues if the family is not healed, the society continues being sick. because the society is made up of small families called communities. The small communities make up the country. And this is being reflected everywhere, in politics, in leadership, in businesses. Traumas that people experienced in childhood. People are exposed to these traumas in their childhood, and they never heal, they never address these wounds, and the wounds are, they're just there. And they manifest later in life and affect them in their adulthood, because there's that little girl in you who is still wounded. So women, because this video is about women, do not subject your children to violence. Do not subject your children to abuse, because children pick this up. Men who abuse their wives, highly likely, they also had abusive fathers. And so they picked it up. It's the only thing they know. Ladies, little girls who saw their fathers abusing their mothers, they may pick up abusive husbands. It's the only thing they know. So protect your children from these situations. Do not expose your children to abuse. Do not expose your children to violence. Children pick this up. And they feel helpless because they know they cannot help you. They feel wounded. They carry the wounds. So ladies, keep yourself empowered spiritually, economically, socially. Keep the few connections. Keep talking. Because you see, an abused woman has low sense of self-worth. They have fear. But you need to fight through those things for the sake of those children. Because if the worst case happens and you are abused to the point of death, your worst fears will come true. And these children will now be left in the hands of a very cruel world and cruel people. A man who abuses the wife is highly likely to give these children a very uncomfortable, abusive life. So you need to be there for the children. How are you going to be there for the children? By being there for yourself. Because this person who is abusing you, this narcissistic husband, this narcissistic partner, is sick and they need help. But even as they're getting help, you need to be somewhere safe for your sake first, and for the sake of the children. The woman is the nurturer at home, the homemaker. So if we have wounded women, we'll have a wounded society. So we need to address this. We need to heal the families. And men, those men, if you know you have ever abused a woman, I think you need to seek help, and you probably need to apologize to that woman. Violence against women needs to come to an end. Limited access to education, discrimination at work, low pay, being overworked, harmful traditional practices, discriminative gender norms, and other socio-political issues like gender inequality, unequal power relations. If we continue having sick women, the children will be sick, the society will be sick. When will the society ever get healed? So if you know someone who's going through gender-based violence in the intimate setup of relationships, marriage, I think you need to speak up. And if you've ever gone through this and you feel that it's a wound, you need to address it. Let's not bury our heads in the sand. It's not normal. It's not fair. It should not continue. It needs to stop. For the sake of those little girls who are growing up, our daughters, our sisters, for the sake of the future generation, gender-based violence needs to stop. We pick up from there.